Hello, 45 fans. Money Mike is going to give you the new Uncut Report, and we're bringing some things to you live. So you're listening now to Money Mike syndicated radio podcast, and we're covering the 49ers. Long fan, lifelong journey, and Super Bowl V, of course. And the thing that I really want to know, because I have high major concerns, Brock Purdy fool's gold. Brock Purdy's done some great stuff, looks really good, looks good on paper, and has some things that are going to come up that I'm really trying to figure out, is Brock Purdy fool's gold? I mean, we have to ask ourselves, you're coming in as the last pick of the draft, okay, so that means the entire NFL scouting system, everybody missed you, or did they? Because there's something telling there. High concern. Brock Purdy's walked in, and let's face it, he's playing for a Super Bowl team that everybody can look and see. But we can't start saying Brock Purdy, first of all, is an all-pro, because he's not Aaron Rodgers. Okay, he's not designing, he's not able to run an offense. He's basically a mechanical game manager that is doing what Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan want to get done. I mean, and the Shanahans, guys, let me tell you, this is a repeat story for me. And I'll give you what I'm feeling, okay? Because Daniel Snyder, obviously, Washington Redskins owner, former Washington Redskins owner, Mike Shanahan, head coach. Daniel Snyder wanted RG3. There's no doubt about it. Versatile quarterback, could really run the ball, doing a great job broadcasting today. And that's who Dan Snyder wanted. Mike Shanahan had a different ideal. He had Kirk Cousins. So he went through it and he said, I'm going to do what you want me to do. I'm going to draft RG3. However, he liked Kirk Cousins. And he drafted Kirk Cousins in the later rounds of the NFL draft. And as the story played out, Kirk Cousins is obviously broadcasting, okay, but not doing it in a sense. He's broadcasting on the field in the NFL. RG3 is broadcasting in the booth. So we got to give Mike Shanahan some credit, because, Mike, you got that one right. Now we're trying to duplicate deja vu, and we're going to say 49ers drafted Trey Lance. 100%, no confusion there. And in fact, I love Trey Lance. I don't love Trey Lance as a fan of football. I love Trey Lance for the capabilities that he has and what he can do as far as getting you over the next hump. And we've seen it. Jim Harbaugh, great coach. Tough as nails. One of the guys that grinds it out. And he did Alex Smith. We know the history. Colin Kaepernick. That's who he wanted, because he needed to get over the hump, which he did, and it got the 49ers to the Super Bowl. Now we're looking today, we're going to fast forward. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh, we want to thank you for the 49ers kicker of the future. It's a great kicker. Jim Harbaugh, we want to thank you for Ronnie Bell. That's a prize pick, there's no doubt about it. Basically, just a football player. And that's what the 49ers have today. They don't have position players. They have football players. So Christian McCaffrey, as I said, I'm in the beautiful Carolinas today. Oh, I love the pine smell. But Christian McCaffrey is a football player. I don't care if you put him at wide receiver. You could put him at running back. You could put him at tight end if you wanted to. You could have him kick field goals. I don't think there's nothing. He's kind of like nothing Christian McCaffrey cannot do. Deebo Samuel's a football player. Could play DB, safety. You want to put him at linebacker. You want to put him at running back, which the 49ers are doing extensively. And he's a football player. So you got to look at some things, guys. There's a difference between a football player and a position player, which means Jerry Rice, great all-time great receiver. But Jerry Rice was a wide receiver. Coming out of Mississippi Valley State, came in, Hall of Fame, best wide receiver to ever play. But I don't think we could put Jerry Rice at the safety position. So the point I'm making here, folks, is the 49ers have some great, great football players who are actually doing incredible things with the football. They're fearless running. Debo, Christian McCaffrey, probably the two most fearless guys of running the ball up the gap in the cut, taking the hits, and actually having vision. Okay, and that's a very uke. And I'm talking McCaffrey would put me on the level of Marshall Falk of his actual vision. Now, what I mean by that, I mean, he could see guys coming out of so many different angles, and it just came back as incredible what Marshall Falk could do in his intelligence, but he was a football player. So back to what I'm saying, Brock Purdy, I'm wondering if he's fool's gold. And because the stats look good, okay, he's averaging yards per attempt, but we got to remember it's only 9 yards, less than 10 yards. Okay, so it's a dupe and dump. Now, occasionally, the 49ers and Mike Shanahan will sprinkle in a 25, 30-yard pass, 45-yard pass. It's going to push up the stats. But to me, Brock Purdy is throwing bubble screens. And for those of you who know, have played football, I mean, bubble screens, if you got a good football player, good running back, he's going to get there. Now, the concern that I have is that's not an NFL quarterback's going to win a Super Bowl. And we're going to find out in this next 4 or 5 weeks who actually Brock Purdy is and what his capabilities are. I truly believe, concerned about the test, it's strange when a player or a quarterback very much walks into the NFL, has never lost a regular season game, is also the 49ers hero. Well, folks, let me tell you, there's some defensive coordinators. There's some guys that have been in this game for a long time, 30, 40, 50 years experience in the game. And I can guarantee you this, that when they play the 49ers, they're going to roll up members in the box, but these guys are going to be able to run and chase. And they got the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to be their first test for us to see, is Brock Purdy real? Because I really haven't seen Brock Purdy throw a ball under pressure. I've seen him make some pressure throws, take a couple licks. Under pressure means you're down by 14 points. You got an opportunity. Are you going to win this game or you're not? And are you going to have 2 game-winning drives? Okay, because that's what it's going to take, and your schedule dictates you're going to need to do that. So as I was reviewing it just a little bit earlier, and I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, okay, what is actually Brock Purdy has actually shown me? What can he do, and how is he can do it? And I'm looking at the stats here. Here's where it's going to get interesting for the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, and their next 5 opponents. And this is going to tell us a lot about Brock Purdy, okay? Because Brock Purdy, as we know, has been outstanding to the normal fan. But when you take an uncut look at what the 49ers do, how they do it, and what they're executing on, there's tremendous opportunities that's going to stop that, and it's going to put that ball back in Purdy's hands. Purdy's going to need to do some things to win. Here's an example. You've got the 49ers are going to play the Cleveland Browns. You got the 49ers, as you know, coming up. We're going to play the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, but you got to understand now you're going up a level and a tier level in defensive schemes, defensive players, defensive coordinators. And I guarantee you this, Dan Quinn of the Dallas Cowboys can dial up something, as we know, to actually sit in those gaps, run against that run screen, the way they're going to run it, and they're going to be able to go in there and they're going to execute that on defense. And they're going to force Brock Purdy to put the ball in certain spots, tight windows, that are going to be very, very critical because you're going to see what Brock Purdy can actually do. Okay, so we're going to play Cleveland, Dallas, and then you got the Baltimore Ravens on the schedule. So if you look at the San Francisco 49ers schedule and you look at who they're going to play and you look at what they're going to have up to do, as I'm looking at it right now, you just have to know the 49ers right now look great. But they're dialing it up. Guys are going to look at your film. okay? And when we're talking about football, okay, execution in the NFL, okay, Brock Purdy has not shown that he can get things done. Brock Purdy is not Deshaun Watson, okay? And Brock Purdy is not going to be able to dink and dunk his way to the Super Bowl. So you have to ask yourself, when you look at the 49ers schedule and you look at this week, the 49ers are going to play the Dallas Cowboys. And that's that old horse trader, old Jerry. Okay, he came and got Trey Lance. He's got him there for a reason. Because we're going to meet the Dallas Cowboys at the mountaintop. And folks, you heard it from me here. So we're going to decide, is Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy, which one's going to lead them to the mountaintop? Okay, then as we know, the 49ers play the Cleveland Browns. Now, you've got to understand that's going to be in Cleveland, and we're going to get into weather and different things that are going to change this game, but they're one of the top defenses in the league. Then you're going to reach down again and the 49ers Seahawks. Okay, that's the division when we got them the first time. They're going to come back stronger. So we just have to ask ourselves, then we're going to match him up with the Bengals. Okay, and we know the Bengals have got a solid quarterback who can play this game, and it's going to really start to show when Brock Purdy starts going not only against some of the elite defenses, but the elite defenses that have a quarterback. Okay, so when you play the Baltimore Ravens, you got to know they're going to come after you. Lamar Jackson's going to pick you apart. So, but you're going to go against a defense with a lot of fire. The 49ers play the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, and let's not kid ourselves. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not the old Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a quarterback, they're building a scheme, and they're building a defense. You're going to look at it, Mike Shanahan will have to have an opportunity to revisit with Kirk Cousins because we're going to play the Minnesota Vikings. And folks, what I'm telling you right now, these are all tough games, okay? Because no matter how great your offense is in football, the one thing you got to know is a good offense on the opposing side that can run the ball is going to have possession, and they're going to keep your team off the field. So then you're going to have less opportunities to execute, less opportunities to score. More games will come balanced out to where it will come down to a field goal challenge. And that's what Baltimore Ravens love to do. They just like to play field goal football, okay? So you got to look at Harbaugh of the Ravens. These guys have got some tough games coming up. And then let's not remember or forget. And remember what I just told you. Let's not remember or forget the 49ers NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Brock Purdy immediately goes down, okay? We've had enough quarterbacks go down for us for the San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, Jimmy G was a nightmare of injuries, okay? Jimmy G came to the 49ers. They gave him an outstanding contract, and Jimmy G reluctant to perform on the field. And that's just something that cannot happen. So now, fast forward, we understand we moved that situation to the Raiders. And that's an excellent move by the San Francisco 49ers because that hasn't changed. Jimmy G is still doing what Jimmy G is doing, and that's sitting on the sidelines getting paid, okay? But now we're going into the season, and we've got the quarterbacks we wanted. And we got the quarterbacks we wanted, folks, let's be honest. There's NFL teams paying $60, $80 million a year for NFL quarterbacks. Now, the point I want to judge here is how in the world did the 49ers end up paying quarterbacks pretty much close to less than $3 million a year, okay? And to win a Super Bowl with quarterbacks who are making less than $3 million a year, okay? Now you're talking about history. You're talking about you're making history. If the 49ers win the Super Bowl this year, they will have made history. So Brock Purdy, fool's gold, as I see, but we're going to polish it. And these next 4 or 5 games are going to tell me what Brock Purdy actually can do, what the 49ers defense is going to do, okay? And realizing, folks, a lot of people say it's a quarterback league, and it is, but quarterbacks don't win championships. And when you look at football, and I had opportunity in my lifetime to be blessed to have some great football coaches. I had an opportunity to play for George Rush, City College of San Francisco. And George stayed at City College of San Francisco, one of the best coaches, and outstanding as far as a defensive back coach. And then I went on, had opportunity to go to Chico State, play for Dick Trimmer, and then Mike Bellotti came in. Mike Bellotti, Hall of Fame coach, Oregon University. Him and Nick Aliotti did an excellent time at Chico State for 3 years and then went on to Oregon. As you know, Aliotti went on to the Rams. And just incredible football knowledge in those two coaches, as well as George Rush out of City College of San Francisco. So when you look at what the scheme and what I'm seeing as a former player defensive back and understanding that there's openings here that the 49ers have and going to need Brock Purdy to do some things he hasn't done. So if you've looked at what Brock Purdy has done so far in the NFL season, then you're going to have to look a little closer because we're going to go in a deeper dive in these next 5 weeks. And I'm telling you, it looks like fool's gold to me, in my opinion. However, if you pass the test, and if you feel Brock Purdy is going to go undefeated for the next 1, 3, 5 years, that's fool's gold, folks. That doesn't happen in the NFL. And when every quarterback that comes in can look fantastic until the actual coaches get the tape. And once the coaches get the tape, they're going to put and shut that down. Now, he either is walking on water, which Brock Purdy does not walk on water, but these next games in this season, by the time we get to week 10 or 11 or 12, if Brock Purdy is leading and doing all the things that he's doing now, I would be completely shocked because he's playing with great football players who are able to do things that other teams don't have. Other teams don't have a Christian McCaffrey. Other teams don't have a Debo, don't have a Kittle, don't have a Brandon Ayuk, who is blossoming, okay, who is truly not fool's gold, is actually polished, a wide receiver that's going to be an all-pro in this league. So, folks, I'm here in the beautiful Carolinas. I'm breaking this down. The 49ers are going to play the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to meet you at the mountaintop, Dallas. Jerry, you know it. You're making the same move like you came and got Charles Hurley. But when we meet you at the mountaintop, Jerry, we're going to find out who's the best. Because, folks, I'll tell you right now, it's going to come down to the 49ers and the Cowboys. So it's old Hatfields and McCoys. They're going to play, and they're going to play some damn good football. So, Money Mike, we're here, we're with you. We're in the beautiful Carolinas. Can't get any better than this. And the only thing I can tell you is we're going to be here. So Money Mike's syndicated radio podcast will be coming your way 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. We're going to give you the uncut 49ers. And God bless the Raiders. So we love that organization, but that organization has kind of lost its direction. But the 49ers are playing for the Super Bowl, folks. We've been to enough NFC championship games. We've been to the last couple Super Bowls. We went 5 straight, 5-0, and now we've lost. So we got to find out what we actually are going to do in this tenure between John Lynch and Mike I like calling him Mike, but Kyle. It's going to be incredible. They did an incredible job. They've done outstanding, but nothing lasts forever in the NFL. And that's what the 49ers are going to be faced. But I like their camaraderie. I like their bond. I like what Kyle and John do because John knows defense. Tampa Bay defense, played for great Tony Dungy. I mean, when you play for great coaches, guys, great coaches just display great stuff. So in the NFL, obviously, we're here. And Money Mike's going to bring you the uncut 49ers truth. Brock Purdy, currently to me, full goal, but other people can feel completely different, and we're going to find out. So tune in Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and we'll bring it to you live. And again, we're in the beautiful Carolinas. We'll be going to Denver, Colorado, We'll be going also to New York. Obviously, you know Aaron Rodgers, greatest quarterback ever played the game, is out, but he'll be back. And he's going to win that Jets the Super Bowl as well. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon.